when leadership in sport was first studied, it was really about this unidirectional hierarchical model. It went from the club, GM, to coach, captain, and then it filtered down to the athlete and team. But I don't know about you, in the last few years, there's a huge difference in our teams, and this has become a lot more collaborative. Okay, so it's about how do we mix in all these different things. I went to a leadership conference when I first started head coaching, and it was Bill Cowher was one of the speakers who coached the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had just come off a Super Bowl win. And he said, the person that hands out the towels in the dressing room is as important as our quarterback, which was pretty astonishing. And someone said, well, why is that? He said, because if the person that hands out the towels every day is in a bad mood, he'll piss off the quarterback and we won't perform very well. And it really gives you this idea that it's more about not just one person on your team, it's about everybody on your team. Okay, so I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent. I'm gonna talk about starlings, I'm gonna talk about fire ants, Navy SEALs, and the New Zealand All Blacks. And what do all these things have in common? And you're probably thinking, this is like PhD, Dan, what are you doing? Like, tangent. So this video here is a murmuration of starlings. Anyway, you would see, if it worked, a murmuration of starlings. You'd see the starlings flying around in these amazing patterns. You've probably seen them if you've driven along a road and you see them fly into the air. It can be hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of birds all at once. And what they do, they never bang into each other and fall to the ground, which I find astonishing. And they're able to do that because each bird focuses on the 6 birds around them. And they are acting off of what they're doing, so they never collide. It's not that they have some sort of telepathy, and that's really, really important. Fire ants have developed these little hairs on their legs that allow them to link together when they face danger. So floods is the big thing that can wipe out a colony. So they've learned how to band together, hold on to one another, and they can actually float. They take turns cycling to the bottom of this clump of ants so that they don't suffocate or drown. And they can build huge towers by linking together. They actually have, they're like viscous, so they're like a fluid. They're studied by engineers for how can they do this. So they band together for the safety of the colony. So what does that have in common with Navy SEALs? It's decentralized leadership. There's no one specific person that's leading the way. So in Navy SEALs, every team member is empowered to take the lead, because when they're out, you don't want on a mission, when they went after Osama bin Laden, for example, to have to turn back and go, what do we do now? They need to know what their job is and execute it. Is that like hockey? Yeah, all 6 players on the ice need to be able to execute their job independently and collectively. They have to execute under pressure. So you can see here how many soldiers are in this boat group. There's 6 or 7, similar to the starlings. They're acting off of one another. In Hell Week, they practice, they have these really tough, grueling things that they do, and these boat races is one of them. They have to go up and down the beach and out into the surf, and the reward for winning is you get to rest, and the punishment for losing is you go again. And in this one, in the book Extreme Ownership, Leif Babin and Jocko Willink describe, this one boat crew was winning all the time. First, second place all the time. This other boat crew was finishing last all the time, second last, last. So what they decided to do was a little experiment. They took the leader from the winning boat crew and put it on the losing boat crew, and vice versa. And what did they find? All of a sudden, the losing boat crew started to do better. They were finishing first and second. What happened to that winning boat crew? Well, they were still finishing first and second because their boat crew had learned skills through this great leadership that they were able to impart to this so-called bad leader to help them all be better. So it's not just the one person, it's this collective idea. The New Zealand All Blacks have this idea of dual management. So this is where players are given ownership of the team. So they collaborate with the coaches, not just on like the leadership off the field, they make decisions on practice, technical and tactical skills, game strategy. So they talk about it with the coaches, and they collectively decide how they're going to approach this in their test matches or at a competition. And so this is all driven around developing really good people. And the mantra of the All Blacks is that better people make better All Blacks. They're not just concerned with the skill of you as a rugby athlete. They want great people because they can trust you.